7 on
But
7?
yeah, 7-on-7
So
tournament.
are you going tonight?
No, I'm not. I am actually going to spend the weekend today, this afternoon, I guess noon to 7, 8, whatever it is, and then all day tomorrow at the Creighton team camp.
Oh,
So there's a
good call.
bunch. There's a bunch of teams from across the region and Nebraska and Waukee Northwest is there, and they're really good. And Colin Rice, I imagine, would be playing. He just visited Iowa.
Everybody's want list regionally.
Yeah, he just visited Iowa. That would have been Wednesday, and then he's visiting Nebraska on the 14th, 15th, something like that. So I want to see him, maybe talk to him. So want to just have a feel for him. So I will be basketballing the week this weekend. But no, my 7-on-7 tournament. I'm gonna brag about myself here. The latest iteration of the very first 7-on-7 tournament to ever be played in Nebraska, which started in 2016, is coming on June 16th and 17th.
Hey, the heck with that battle for 7 on 7 stuff, man. I'm the OG.
It's
OJ is in Jerome.
it's true. Like I was the first. Yes, it's a Scholastic one, so it's not like all-star teams. But it's fun. We have some good teams. It'll be at Bellevue West, June 16th and 17th. June 16th is pool play. And I divided the pools, I think, pretty evenly. We have 18 teams. Uh, so Thomas Jefferson and Lewis Central from Council Bluffs will be playing in it. And then we have Central City, who I think is actually going to be pretty good again.
They will.
Remember, they were in the
Last
state finals.
Very much.
I mean,
they made it to state.
No,
Yeah.
I mean in the 7-on-7, weren't they
Yeah,
there
they
last
were
year?
good.
And they were good last year. They throw it around. So have them. Columbus Lakeview's in it, and then Millard South, Omaha West Side.
How'd the
LUS.
talk go? How'd the talk go with Isaac Jensen? That was a nice little sit down. He's kind
Yeah,
of he's a little unassuming for how he actually plays because on the field he's much more demonstrative.
yeah. He. So they had passing league with TJ on Wednesday, and went out there because they don't. That's like their only passing league game they're going to play. Millard South this June. So I went out there to just talk to their guys and see them and watch the Jet throw it around a little bit against some competition. And Isaac Jensen, I don't know if you remember this. It's probably a year ago. I was like, man, love that guy. Catches everything, and he still catches everything. So yeah, he's good. He's put on some weight. You could tell he's gotten bigger. Yeah, you can tell he's gotten bigger and stronger and all that stuff. So he, yeah, he's good. I feel good about it. I think once he gets to a college weight program, his body will kind of shape more, right? So he's good. I mean, Nebraska is not there for him, not in the conversation anymore for him. So,
hey, how about another guy that's getting some run tonight that we've liked forever? And Jaylen Soko.
Yeah. He's like the Swiss Army knife. If you remember last year,
versatile.
Said he just kind of does everything. He's the Debo Samuel of high school football in Nebraska. So he's
his frame. It's so good to see him look. Because remember when I was paranoid, right? You were like, Dave, we're cutting it down, and then he had the little injury, and we were shaking hands, and I was like, oh my God, he's lost an amazing amount of weight, and to see him back in that 215, 220-ish range, I'm super happy for him because he's really good.
Yeah, he missed some time last year. It sucked. I think it was I don't know the exact injury, so I'm not going to speculate on that, but it was something internal, I would think, because he lost all that weight. So he's literally like Debo Samuel is the best comp I can give because he can just do basically everything. You can line him up at running back, H back. He can split out even wide. He can play outside linebacker if you need him to. He can probably rush the passer with his hand in the ground. He can just do a lot of stuff. And he's really athletic and a strong kid, smart too. So that one will be pretty interesting to see what he kind
what
of
happens.
what happens there.
I could see him blowing up because he's gonna be a good tester too. So
Yeah.
you actually watch his tape and you maybe don't believe that he's as good as the film says, because on film he's like, you could just tell. I mean, you can just tell he's really good.
Yeah.
And then he tests well, and you're like, oh yeah, that's the guy. Because some guys it just doesn't match up.
No.
Right? You watch them in 7-on-7, or you look at their athleticism, and then you watch them in game, and it's like, you should pop more, right? And then some guys pop, and then you watch them test, and it's like, oh,
I would have thought those numbers would be
I would have
better.
thought, yeah. So he's one of those guys where I think it fits. Like,
both it lines up, right? Like both things
tape
line up.
justify you, yeah.
The numbers justify the tape.
And I will tell you, watching him practice, it lines up too. Like he's not just some like
doesn't need a babysitter.
No, not at all. So, we talked about Nebraska's recruiting in the before, and hey, like right now we have all these in-state guys and that are high-level guys. And Nebraska's not necessarily on all of them, or guys they've maybe offered aren't, considering them, or vice versa, like something happened and whatever. But Soko's a guy I could see just with his versatility that Nebraska could maybe take a swing at.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, he's like a little bit bigger of a Jace Reynolds, even though Reynolds is probably more straight line fast, right? I think that's a person that could maybe, have that.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure.
You don't think so?
And I like Jace too. I was just up there picking up Zoe from dance yesterday, and that place is immaculate.
Elkhorn North?
Yes. Yeah. I chuckled. I was like, ugh.
We got 2 turf fields, and
they both were full. They had camps. I was like, damn.
Yeah. So I mean,
they be guys, they be.
Both. Yeah. You say that place was immaculate, but then you go to.
I haven't seen the finished product at the district yet, so
then you go to your school. And, hey, here's like a $30 million.
I'm not living in a glass house, babe. I'm
just making sure we're not.
It's also not like Elkhorn South a dump.
No,
like that place is pretty ridiculous too.
That's what tax-based revenue can do for you.
Again, two turf full 100-yard fields there too now. So,
let me ask you this. This is about as objective as I can get. I'm a little surprised because they are 2 different years. One's 26, one's 27. But I'm a little surprised at the direct comps between Pittman and Darian Jones. Like, I think Nebraska fans think it's one or the other. I do not, number one. But 2, Darian is clearly a year older. Right. So I don't know. I guess having played against both of them, coached against both of them, I'm surprised that people try to pin this down to like a direct 1-to-1, because it's really not, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I don't think they're that similar, to be honest. And Pittman's a safety. Darian can play safety, but he's longer, frames a lot longer, and Darian's a corner. So I think Darian's like a corner. That's what he's going to be.
I could see him playing in the slot like a nickel.
Yeah, it could be that too. But I think
he's a really good tackler, though.
True. I look at them. Their frame's different. Like
I know Tory is very compact.
Yeah.
Like a powerful build.
You could just tell. He looks like a strong kid.
Yeah.
But Darian standing next to you the other day, I thought it was funny you asked him the question about his real height, because he's clearly taller than you.
Yeah, that's because there's some consternation about how tall he is, and then if you look at like the recruiting sites, one has him as like 6 foot and 160, and I'm like, that's not true. So that's why I asked him, just to make sure like we get some updated information about that out there.
I was surprised to see he was honest, so that didn't surprise me. But I was surprised to see that he's not quite to 180. He looks every bit of it.
Yeah, I think track.
He was much bigger. Like when I see, and clearly I see him a fair amount, but he seems bigger than 180.
Yeah, he looks bigger than 180. Like he's built like he's. I mean, I wonder what his body fat is. It's got to be pretty low. Like because he's pretty cut up.
I think sometimes people forget like all the ways that he scores. Whether it's a scoop score, a pick six, a punt return, a kickoff return, a touchdown catch.
He just go up and catch a touchdown over your head on top of you.
He affects the game in all three facets all the time. You have to know where Sticks is, right? You just like he's just the guy you have to game plan for.
His also to his weight thing, like track. I mean, he ran a lot of track, like 300 hurdles, 110s. Like he ran a lot of track stuff, so that probably took some off. He'll get it. I feel good about him gaining the weight and getting it back on. But you do. What was the game?
Hey, same class, two different position groups. Who ends up having more quality Power 5 offers, Warren or Pittman?
Well, Warren has more now. Well, they're both.
The lists are both ridiculous.
I mean, it's kind of incredible for that year.
They're both pretty high up there and already have kind of a bunch. I think Pittman has 16 or something right now. So, and like Notre Dame, Michigan,
out there.
And Braylon will be up there too. Like how much Braylon got? Like 14, 15 right now too.
Yeah, and they're quality.
Yeah, these are all I feel very much so committable offers.
These last 4 or 5 years have been impressive.
Yeah, it's kind of like what we went through with basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in the early 2020s.
Yeah, like the 19 to 23. And now we're not.
And it's been happening with baseball.
A little bit of a desert.
It's been happening with volleyball. It's been happening with softball. I listened to Coach Hurrdat. His sit down. I'm a huge fan of that family.
Mike, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised because he is like one of Mr. Softballs, but his command of the region and the state is obviously why Omaha's been able to recruit at such a high level. But I loved his calm demeanor when he talked about just the quality of softball that's played here. And I'm like, it's crazy how good the bat and ball sport is in the state of Nebraska.
I mean, baseball and softball both are pretty high level.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, at Arkansas and Cade Kozol right now.
I mean, where do you start?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been going on for. I mean, Preble and Greg Olson were years ago.
It's been going decades.
Yeah. Just years of good bat and ball play here.
Yeah. Well, then you look at
volleyball gets a ton of run, and it's fantastic too.
As it should.
But man, it's incredible.
I will tell you why. It's because the clubs have been established for such a long time here. Outside of baseball, I guess that just kind of started a handful of years ago. But the clubs, like softball, club softball is like big deal. Club volleyball obviously is a huge deal. They run the sport in Nebraska for sure, probably across the country. But softball is like a pretty big deal too when it comes to club stuff. There's so many good ones. Like, I mean, Quakes, Gold. What else? I'm not even gonna try and name it. I would forget someone and someone would get mad at me, so I'm just gonna stop there. So we're not.
I just if he wasn't so terrifying in his demeanor, we need to talk to Coach Hurrdat more. But he
Hurrdat is terrifying.
Sweats intensity.
No.
And I asked his cousin, I asked Jason because that's my nutrition guy, and of course I know little brother, and like the consensus of like who's the toughest, like it takes like a millisecond to say Mike. I'm like, yeah.
Really?
A millisecond to say Mike.
Bill's not soft either.
No.
Like
but he's a joy to talk to though. Like
Bill? Yeah.
like quietly, he's probably one of my favorite. I sent him a message the other day, and it's like he's one of my favorite people.
Wait, did he respond to you?
Yeah.
How long did it take him?
Wow, good call. I text him in the morning, early, probably in the 7s or 8s,
Okay.
and he hit me back after 9 p.m.
Yeah, so that's not right. Par for the course.
Oh, who am I to like?
Yeah, you're not any good either. By the way,
Judging that.
Pot, kettle.
yeah. Speaking of Mike, speaking of Bill Hurd, I went to summer league basketball Monday night at prep, and I walk in and I'm like, what is going on? Gretna High has a 1-to-1 coach to player ratio right now in the summer. And I even went over to him like, oh, I said some adult things.
Hey,
So,
prep sitting on another young potential wing swing young Jim.
um,
Gem.
Gem.
Gem. Gem. Not Jim. Gem.
I think there's some work there that needs to happen. But yeah, there's a maybe there for sure. Like it's something to keep an eye on. I will tell you, like, the best player in the gym, though, now goes to AL. So,
I will give you a ton of pushback,
especially
now that Weber's left.
Yeah, I mean, he was. We're talking about Kellen. He was at Blair, now going to Ale. He, yeah, they play West Side.
Mm-hmm.
He was the best player on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So, and that's with
a lot of whispering after that one.
Yeah, there. I maybe may or may not have talked to Coach Simons, and he's like, "Oh, I let it be known that."
Hey, he pulls no punches.
Yeah, that
no cares given.
Yeah, like you guys think you're, that guy. Well, that guy was the best player, and he was. He's really good. So, there's some young basketball talent that's got a chance to kind of be pretty good in the region. We just need to see it, come to fruition, if you will. I mean, we're right now. I guess I tweeted the other day after Jacob Weber left to go to La Luminaire, which good for him. Like you get that opportunity, go for it. Right now in the 2026 or senior class in Nebraska for basketball, there are 0 Division I offers for players, which would be a first in a long time that's happened. The last time we got close to that was 2016. Tristan Simpson was the one Division I player out of high school. I mean, and he went to South Dakota. And last year we only had 2 out of high school that went, and that was Bryson Ball and Brock Scholl. So we're on a bit of a downtrend on the boys basketball side of stuff, and hopefully that turns around. But hey, maybe that means it'll be just a little more competitive. And to be frank, I believe I said this publicly in the past too, is might just help the GPAC guys that are used to recruiting really well in Nebraska and getting really good players, because maybe parents and players will actually start like taking their phone call more. And people won't think that they're like better than them and stuff like that. So no, like I had a conversation on Monday night.
I was gonna say, man, you don't gotta tell me. You don't gotta
No.
tell me.
Like I had a conversation on Monday night with a current GPAC, Monday and Friday, with current GPAC assistant coaches, meaning like your Midlands, Concordias, Dones, all that. And like I was like, hey, this little downturn of high level talent, probably good for you guys. And they're like, yeah, but we still have people that won't take our call. And I'm like, then we talked about who, and I was like, oh, really? Interesting. Like that person should probably be taking your call. And it's a name that's decently well known in high school basketball right now. So I'm like, and that person has no Division II offers, at least right now, like public anyway, that I know of. So I don't know what we're doing. Like, probably just, you don't have to like commit somewhere. You should probably not just turn down people that want to talk to you about potentially playing college basketball for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say the hardest part about recruiting NAI level ball is it's a snap to reality for a lot of the kids and a lot of the parents. Most of the time the parents more so than the kids.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of time the parents and the kids where it's the first time they're thinking, "Oh, I may not be that guy."
Right.
And
Yeah.
the hardest part is a lot of like if you're honest as an NAIA coach, which you should be at any level, you kind of have to be the one that breaks that news to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's tough because you've got a JUCO coach usually coming in at the same time, and nothing against JUCO coaches, but usually the JUCO coach is still selling the dream.
Yeah, saying I can get you there, right? Yeah.
The NAI coach is selling reality. And
Right.
a lot of times people don't want to buy reality, they want to buy the dream. But then they get to the JUCO a lot of times and they have recruited 50 guys and the coach doesn't know your name, and it's a nightmare a lot of times, more than it is the dream.
Yeah.
Like all that's true, right? I'm not overstating any of that.
No, yeah, that's 100% true. I mean, man, I saw something a couple years ago, and it was great. And it was more about like, everyone thinks kids are entitled and whatever. This generation of kids. Well, how did they get that way? It was because the parents made them that way. So it was actually to do with like the everybody gets a ribbon and a trophy and stuff.
What I heard is who gave them the trophies,
like, right?
Who
yeah,
was and buying the participation trophies,
right? And it's because the parents want the picture with the trophy or the ribbon or whatever to put on their Facebook to show off their kids or whatever, and like that's what changed. It's not the kids necessarily. I mean, hey, there are some entitled kids out there, let me tell you, but it's not that primarily. It's primarily, stemmed from this everyone needs a ribbon and trophy thing. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, my daughter's trying out for like whatever club soccer right now. And I told my wife, I'm like, listen, if she don't make the team, like if she don't make one of the better teams, like we're playing rec again, because like she needs to get better, and we're not gonna act like we're something we're not. Like we're just not doing that. And if you know me financially, I can be pretty cheap with things. So
clubs are rough.
I'm not gonna spend the money to be on like the third or fourth team or whatever. So.